Hello and welcome back to Rage Gaming. My name is Hollow, and today in Lost Ark we are talking PvP. Everything from how to unlock it, how it actually works, what you get for it, and generally my thoughts on it. I've been struggling to put into words how this PvP kind of feels to play, and I think I actually have it. It's like you're playing a fighting game, like, I don't know, Mortal Kombat, but in an MMO. You see, the basis of the combat is all about juggling and stunning your opponent and then bursting them down with various combos while they're kind of in a lockdown state. Essentially finishing them off with a clean combination of abilities that keep that enemy in the air and stunned while you just devastate their health bar. Meanwhile, you avoid their stuns and combos through your own various levels of hyper armor, time to avoid their attempts. So at the core, it's just like a fighting game, but you're using hotbar style abilities in specific ways, aimed correctly, and obviously in specific order as well. But then the way it actually works to balance it and the modes that you do the PvP in, I think it's really interesting. Basically, I've got a lot of good things to say, a little bit of healthy criticism, but let's get into it. Here's your guide to PvP in Lost Ark. From roughly 26, you are going to unlock PvP after reaching the first main city called Luterra Castle. As part of the quest line that you're there doing, it'll take you around the city and you'll be brought to the arena area that unlocks PvP and gets you started. The PvP system is called the Proving Grounds, which you can from that point on access at any entry board all over the world. Each city actually has these Proving Ground boards, or you can queue for it using the Proving Ground symbol under your minimap. Now you've actually got PvP unlocked, how does it work? Lost Ark's PvP has a variety of formats, but ultimately it's all small scale battles in a sort of arena setting, which I think is where this combat shines. Much better than putting 100 people together and having them collide. We have normal matches, competitive matches, and custom games if you want to practice or play against friends. Normal matches give you a way to play without any real MMR pressure, while still providing you some PvP currency and rewards. And then the competitive matches affect your seasonal PvP rank. There's a ranking board to see the top players, and rewards for reaching different PvP ranks. Those rewards are things like titles, special auras, hair and equipment skins that you can't get any other way, and also a lot of currency. So PvP is rewarded in function with the currency, but also special unique cosmetics and effects that kind of display your prowess. I think that's really cool, because if you see a high rank PvPer, you'll know. To get into PvP though, you'll need to choose a build, and this is done so well. It's very smart. Basically, the moment you unlock PvP, you have 1,250 attribute points to spend on a potential 6 attributes. Different classes like different stats. Then you also have 340 skill points to buff up some of your abilities and adapt them for PvP. If you're not aware, in Lost Ark you have something like 20 to 25 abilities to choose between, but you can only have 8 on your slots at any one time. So you basically pick your preferred 8 and then manipulate those abilities with your skill points. So because of this system, a level 26 who just unlocked PvP has the same power opportunity as some dude who's like level 50 plus who's been doing PvP for ages. It's ultimately up to you how you choose to spend the points you're given and which abilities you want to run. I think it's a very smart system because it's very fair and it's always on the player to make the most of what they're given. As far as the function of PvP goes though, it is generally like this. You have CC abilities to short stagger or further knock up and juggle, or further hard stun your enemy. You have attack abilities that give you various levels of immunity to avoid those staggers or knock-ups or those hard stuns, like your dash evade that everyone has. So you organize your build, lock down enemies with staggers and knock-ups, juggle them with your combos, and burst them hard, all while trying to avoid their attacks with your well-timed immunities. While every class does work differently, and of course range classes work differently to melee classes, that's still the core of the combat here. The CC and burst windows, how you use them, or how you avoid them. The 3 modes we have in this beta though are Team Deathmatch, Deathmatch, and Team Elimination. Oh, and you can obviously duel players in 1v1 whenever you like out in the world. And while TDM and Deathmatch are quite run-of-the-mill, alright combat systems, Team Elimination is something really special. It feels like the perfect combat system for this game, while the other 2 are okay but have some downsides. In Team Deathmatch, 2 teams of 3 fight each other in an attempt to get more killing blows than the other team. You respawn shortly after every death. I think this works well in that you need to time your engages carefully so you're not diving in and getting CC locked by all 3 enemies. Your position needs to be clever, so you're using the camera to stay off the enemy's screen and then surprise attacking them. You're being careful not to overcommit to any one fight. The downside of TDM though is that you've got multiple players in one fight. This is a very skill-based PvP system, and it falls apart when you've got 3 people throwing a bunch of abilities at another 3 people. Overall, I think Team Deathmatch is functional and fun, but with the dangers of the whole 3 players using CC and ability spam on one target over and over, it loses that luster and competitiveness. In Deathmatch, you have 6 players fighting all at once, gaining points for every killing blow. You do respawn shortly after death, so it's highest killing blows to win. So you could steal those without actually being in the fight. I found it pretty fun to play because they give you some different stuff, like there'll be burst windows where everyone's doing more damage. There's an orb in the middle that only one person can get that makes them do way more damage. Generally, you want to play it smart and careful, you know, avoiding the fights until you're ready to commit, sniping killing blows where possible, moving away without committing too hard. You dive in, you juggle the enemy, you burst them before they can react, and you get out of there. The heartbreak of this mode is also what I just said though, when it's done to you. While you're taking an honorable 1v1, there's always going to be multiple players that are just waiting to sort of vulture your killing blow. So it's certainly not competitive because of that, but it is fun to play and I'd say it's good for practice. Lastly though, in team elimination, there are teams of 3 against each other facing off in an elimination format. It's a gauntlet of sorts where you choose who fights first, second, and third on your team. And then it's a 1v1 into 1v1 into 1v1. Whoever wins then has to face the next enemy with whatever health they've got left over after the previous fight. I think this is such a cool format where you're watching the skill-based 1v1 battles with a good camera system, where you can watch both players' perspectives or like from top down. You can even see what abilities they have available or what's on cooldown. There's a flow chart of which buttons are being pressed. This is really high level detail. It feels like esports ready. So I was impressed by the detail of the mode, the spectator tools, but I think the format itself is just really fun. You get the pressure of everyone watching you in your current duel. Again, the game shines the most in 1v1s, and this is that. There's no outside influence. You have your resources and they have theirs, and it's up to who makes the most of them. I was able to turn a loss into a win by finishing off the enemy my teammate had failed to kill, then winning the next 1v1 even though I had less health at the start of that fight, and then I weakened the next guy to half health, which gave my teammate an easy fight to win the round. It feels so good with everyone watching, seeing what you're doing, especially when you clutch up and make like a big impact. Look, that random said, well played, now I feel amazing. But genuinely, the gameplay of this mode feels the most competitive by far out of all of them. It's the most balanced, the most rewarding. I hope this is what the competitive mode is in the full game, because like I said, TDM, it works okay. Team elimination is perfect. This is genuinely one of the best PvP modes I played in any MMO ever. I think that's very impressive. So I mentioned earlier that you get currency for playing any form of PvP, and then of course special rewards for your rank in competitive mode. So by engaging in PvP, you earn coins of courage, more for when you win and do better. These can be exchanged with PvP vendors for important items like crests or materials for equipment and weapon upgrading, or maybe you save up for mounts, titles, auras, whatever you want to grind. So while you do get special cosmetics, titles, auras, and so on from the high rank competitive rewards, you can still get some really cool PvP items and cosmetics for just doing PvP. And on top of that, you can get important upgrade materials by trading these coins to upgrade your PvE gear, if maybe this is your preferred way to gather those materials, resulting in a very well balanced PvP system that rewards you as a true PvP player with a status symbol if you reach those higher ranks in competitive mode, or targeted rewards for general PvP depending on what you want to do. So I'd say it's very well done. But that's it, that's PvP and Lost Ark. I'm really impressed. I felt like I didn't really care for MMO hotbar PvP for a long time now, and playing this has really invigorated the feeling of it. It's well thought out. It seems very well balanced. A low-level player can have the same potential as a high-level player, and functionally the combo and juggling nature of the combat is both fun to pull off and also learn. In 1v1, the PvP is just so strong, while it's certainly less functional and less competitive when there's multiple players involved in one fight. Which is why the moment that I saw the team elimination mode and how well developed that was, I was blown away. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to playing PvP at release. I just need to learn like what every class can do and how to manage it, which I'm sure will take some time. But what do you guys think of this? Have you been trying the PvP yourself? Has this information got you excited to give it a go? Until next time though, I've been Hollow. You've been you. Thanks for watching.
Josh, Cotton, and Hollow with the videos, dropping the humor like a hammer on your tippy toes, bringing entertainment on a daily arrangement to take our insanity and turn it into entertainment. Yes, I said entertainment twice, to reiterate that it is nice to look into your faces on a mostly daily basis when you let us in your homes to make the whole world a stage. Goodbye.